What's up, guys? It's Dr. Josh. I just want to quickly go over what a normal female hormone cycle looks like. I'm going to keep it super simple and just focus on the two main sex hormones, estrogen and progesterone. But this is something that when you really understand this, it kind of helps empower you to understand why you might be feeling the way that you're feeling. I oftentimes hear women say, is it all in my head? These changes in mood that you might experience around your period or PMS or cramping, all of the various symptoms that you might be experiencing. Everyone wants to know, is it in my head? And no, there's physiological changes that occur, and if there's changes in these hormones, then you're not going to feel like yourself. So I'm going to keep this super simple. I know this is backwards, but you'll still get the idea here. So this is, on this axis, we'll see the length in days of what an ideal cycle would look like. So ideally, we want our cycle to be around 28 days. So day 0 would be the first day of bleeding. That's even if there's a little bit of spotting. In the middle of our cycle, around day 14, that's ideally when ovulation occurs. So let's just break this down into the two main hormones, and you'll really understand what's going on with you more after you see this visually. So in the first half of our cycle, there's two phases to our cycle. So there's the first half, the follicular phase, and the second half, the luteal phase. In the follicular phase, what we're doing is we're just trying to build everything up so that you have a nice healthy egg that you can ovulate and release on day 14 on ovulation. So the first half of your cycle, we have a rise in estrogen, and estrogen is a hormone that helps us build things. And so as estrogen rises, the thickness of your uterine lining grows, right? Your uterine lining grows so that it can support, it makes a nice happy home for implantation. So in the first half of our cycle, we want a nice rise in estrogen, and then when you ovulate, you'll get a little dip. You'll get another kind of second rise in the second half of your cycle, but that's not as important as this first nice steady rise. And so that has to happen. Then when you ovulate, what happens is the little casing of your egg starts to make progesterone, and that should rise up in the second half of your cycle in the luteal phase. And so progesterone is, we break that down, it means progestation. So it's essential that progesterone has a nice bell-shaped curve. So we want to see it gradually taper up, kind of plateau, and then gradually taper down. And so the symptoms that a lot of women experience before they start bleeding, right, or right before their cycle starts, can be due to a withdrawal in this progesterone, like where this progesterone might dip a little too early or too rapidly. And changes in progesterone generally are going to cause a lot of the symptoms that are associated with, PMS and mood changes and all of the various things that you might be experiencing. So it's absolutely a real problem, and it's a real physiological issue that you're dealing with. It's not just all in your head. There's changes in these hormones. So let's say that there's just a dip in this progesterone, sometime the week before your cycle's supposed to begin. That might be a change in your mood. That might be an exacerbation of anxiety or depression or wanting to cry really easily. That can happen because there's issues here. So there's a lot that can be done to both measure these different hormones at different times throughout the month, and also to help support your body so that you're making adequate levels of these hormones so that you feel well. And if there's a change in any of this, right, if your estrogen doesn't peak where it's supposed to peak, then you might not have a healthy uterine lining to support pregnancy, so it could cause fertility issues. Or if your progesterone levels are out of whack, then that can also cause fertility issues. So it explains a lot of both fertility issues and the changes that can occur before or even during your cycle. So hopefully that empowers you to understand what's going on with your cycle. And if you have any questions, reach out to me, drhansen.com. You can go to drhansen.com/hormones, and I have a cool masterclass where you can click the link in my profile. You understand this stuff a lot more there. All right, hope that answers some questions. Have a good one.